Hey, friends, ladies and gentlemen, today I am going to make a very beautiful and interesting video lecture on one of the important aspects of NAAC. NAAC stands for National Assessment and Accreditation Council. The NAAC has to accredit all the institutions of higher education across the country. In this video lecture, I shall discuss the preparations of pre-peer team visit to an institution of higher education. After the submission of the SSR online, the next step comes of the DDV. The DDV refers to document validation and verification. At this stage, the institution of higher education has to upload different documents if there is lack of document, then the head of the institution drafts a certificate validating it, and this certificate, which is validated by the head of the institution, is uploaded. The NAAC looks into the documents uploaded. When the NAAC pre-qualifies the SSR, the DVV, and the SSS, a student survey satisfaction, then institution is to submit or to send 3 dates for the visit of the peer team to the institution of the higher education. The peer team, which consists of 3 members. One is the chairperson, the second is the coordinator, and the third is the member. The peer team visits the institution of higher education, which goes for NAAC on one of the 3 dates provided to the NAAC in accordance with the convenience of the NAAC. Now I shall talk about the preparations, the elaborate preparations which are expected of an institution of higher education before the before the peer team visit or pre-peer team visit. I shall divide it into several parts to make it convenient and easy to discuss it point wise. The first important thing is the infrastructure. The infrastructure of an institution of higher education which is to be assessed and accredited should be well maintained. The classrooms should be neat and clean. The laboratories should be well equipped. The library should be functional. The buildings of the higher education should be painted or whitewashed. In a nutshell, the campus should look festive. There should be cleanliness on the campus. Everything should be kept in good fashion, in proper condition, proper position, so that the peer team can have good impression of the infrastructure, of the physical structure or internal structure that the institution of higher education possesses. Nothing should be left to chance. Everything should be taken care of, and all the things such as the office of the principal, the office of the IQAC, the laboratories of the institution, the library of the institution, the classrooms of the institution, the smart classes of the institution, all the things should be well maintained. All the things should be in good shape and size. This is essential before the peer team visit. It is said that first impression is the last impression. So, if the peer team visits an institution of higher education, it should give good impression, favorable impression. It should attract the members of the peer team. The second important thing that I shall talk about in the preparation of the pre-peer team visit is the documentation. The documents pertaining to the institution should be placed in the office of the IQAC. The IQAC office should be large so that all the documents can be placed over there. The peer team spends most of the time in the IQAC office looking into different records of the institution, different documents of the institution, such as the attendance registers of the students, teachers' attendance records, uh, fee collection registers, cash book register, DCR1, DCR2, all these records and documents should be placed in the office of the IQAC so that on demand the IQAC coordinator or the director can show the documents or the records to the peer team easily and conveniently. So, this is important aspect before the visit of the peer team. A staff or person should be earmarked for showing or exhibiting the particular documents. There should be different persons, different staff earmarked for showing different documents. One staff or one person should be earmarked for showing the attendance register, another for records pertaining to finance of the college, DCR1, DCR2, cash book, etc. All the records should be ready to be shown to the peer team. This is important preparation before the peer team visit. The third important aspect, the third important point is the PowerPoint presentation. First of all, the head of the institution has to give PowerPoint presentation before the peer team. The head of the institution will present all the things pertaining to the institution point wise. The PowerPoint presentation of the head of the institution should cover 45 minutes to 1 hour. During this period, the head of the institution should present all the things on projection very clearly and very confidently. The head of the institution should be confident enough in the PowerPoint presentation of the materials relating to that institution of higher education. The head of the institution will talk about all the things such as the landed property of the institution, the classrooms, number of classrooms of the institution, the library, the laboratories of the institution, the number of faculty members, the number of non-teaching staff, the number of students are studying over there, the subjects which are being taught over there, faculty wise or discipline wise, should be talked about elaborately. It should be kept in mind that the PowerPoint presentation should be in matrix. It should be in points. It should be in brief sentences. There should be different slides for different things of the or related to or concerning with the institution of higher education. The PowerPoint presentation by the head of the institution is very important. The head of the institution should practice PowerPoint presentation twice, thrice, 4 times, so that he or she may present all the things very clearly, lucidly, and confidently before the peer team and the staff of the institution. After the presentation, another important thing is that during the presentation by the principal, the peer team makes queries. When there is any query from any member of the peer team, the head of the institution has to clarify the query. He has to answer the question very satisfactorily. He will have to stop presenting the next point. He has to clarify the points or the queries made by any member of the peer team. Therefore, preparations of it is required before the visit of the peer team. The next important point or the next step is the PowerPoint presentation by the heads of the departments of the institution. Each and every head of the department will have to give PowerPoint presentation before the peer team. The PowerPoint presentation should be in English. The presenter should be fluent in English. The heads of the department will talk about the history of the departments. Then they will talk about the aims and objectives of the departments. Then they should talk about their activities in the campus and outside the campus. Then the heads of the departments are supposed to talk about the first 3 or 4 criteria point wise, such as curricular aspect, teaching, learning and evaluation, research, innovations and extension, infrastructure and learning resources. The heads of the departments are supposed to talk about the achievements of their departments for the last 5 years. During the presentation, the members of the peer team make frequent questions. The heads of the departments have to clarify and answer the queries, the questions put forth by the peer team. The heads of the departments should practice PowerPoint presentation before the arrival or before the real visit of the peer team. If they practice once, twice, thrice or 4 times, they will be able to have PowerPoint presentation very confidently, very clearly and very elaborately. The PowerPoint presentation by the heads of the departments needs rigorous practice, twice, thrice, 4 times, till it is correct in all the respects. After the PowerPoint presentation by the principal first and later by the heads of the departments of the higher education institution, the peer team looks into the documents and records of the institution. The peer team sits in the IQAC office, where all the important documents and records of the institution are placed there. Different persons are earmarked there to show the particular records to the peer team. After the satisfaction of the team wants to have physical verification of the infrastructure. So, the peer team visits the classrooms. They see how is the condition of the classrooms, whether the classrooms are neat and clean or not, how many classrooms are there, how many smart classes are there. They visit the library. They look into the issuance of the books to the students of the higher education institution. If the institution has automation of library or e-library, the peer team examines whether students are visiting the library and operating computers or laptops and looking for the books over there or not. The peer team also goes to the laboratories to see how experiments are carried out in the laboratories of the of the higher education institution. Another important aspect is that the peer team also wants arrangement of cultural program at the institution. They expect that the students of the higher education institution will perform cultural programs there. The cultural program presented or given by the students of the institution impresses the peer team most. So, cultural program should be held on the visit of the peer team. The cultural program takes place between the middle of the 2 days or 3 days during the evening and night. The institution can add any other aspect or any other things for the preparation before the peer team visit. Another important thing that I would like to mention here is mock peer team visit. Before the real peer team visit, there should be a mock peer team visit. 3 senior teachers of the institution should be made the peer team. One shall be the chairman or chairperson, the other should be coordinator, and the third one should be the member. And they should, this team, internal peer team, you can say, will have all the exercises that I discussed from point 1 to the last. The head of the institution, the heads of the departments should give PowerPoint presentation before this internal mock peer team visit. When this mock peer team visit passes off satisfactorily and happily, the institution of higher education invites teachers from other institutions where NAAC accreditation has already taken place. 3 teachers, senior teachers, should be invited to act as the mock peer team visit in the institution. Now this peer team, which is made of the teachers coming from other colleges where NAAC has taken place, will go through all these exercises that I have talked about. After these 2 mock peer team visits, the preparation becomes foolproof. Then or when the real peer team visits, the presentation by the head of the institution and the presentation by the heads of the institution will be perfect. There will be no fault and loopholes in anything. Friends, remember one thing: the peer team is not a fault-finding team. It is a fact-finding team. Therefore, the head of the institution and the IQAC or a steering committee coordinator or director should not hide anything or conceal anything from the peer team. The peer team expects that they will be shown everything openly and clearly, and nothing should be hidden or concealed from them. In this way, preparations of peer team visit becomes satisfactory, becomes free from faults and loopholes, and the institution becomes capable to obtain better grades like A+++ or A++ or at least A. I hope that all the persons, all the friends concerned with NAAC accreditation may have understood everything clearly. Thanks.